everybody, and welcome back to Lindsey's Little Library. So we're here today because it is Booklist Thursday. Booklist Thursday is something I do with Sarah over at Sarah's Nightstand. We come to you every Thursday with some sort of thoughts, ideas, recommendations, something bookish related. So today's topic are books that are set during the 1970s. I feel like this is a decade that is going to start showing up in more books in more ways, especially with the release of The Women, which is not on the list because I feel like it's been talked about enough. So here are some other books that are set during the 70s that I think that you would find enjoyable. First one I have is The Smell of Other People's Houses. This is by Bonnie Sue Hitchcock. This is a very, very short book. I believe I read this in one day. I want to say it's even less than, just over 200 pages. So we take place in Alaska. We follow four teenage kids as they grow up during the 70s in Alaska amongst a lot of turmoil and crazy stuff that they have to survive. And they basically find out that being a family does not necessarily have to just be limited to the people that you're actually related to, but friendships can definitely turn into more of a family situation. So this follows those four as they kind of navigate their lives in the 70s, and I really enjoyed it. Again, it's really short, something that you could easily pick up as a little palate cleanser between readings, or a book you could get done quickly if you're trying to hit a goal or something, which is, I think, what I read it for. So definitely suggest that one. Next one, I feel like I had to put a popular one on here. Daisy Jones and the Six is the one that came to mind for me. This is by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This does take place in the 70s, and we follow Daisy. She's a girl coming of age in LA, starts late 60s into the 70s, and it basically follows her as she starts singing with a band called The Six. On the eve of their first tour, Billy Dunn, his girlfriend Camilla, finds out she's pregnant. With the pressure of impending fatherhood and fame, Billy goes on a little wild on the road. As Daisy and Billy cross paths, they realize that the key to supercharged success is to put the two together. Daisy Jones and then The Six, which is led by Billy, the making of this legend. Wow, I can't read today. Is chronicled in this story. It's a oral history story. So I'm gonna stop stumbling over my words. I listened to this book because it's all told as if, that's not a good page, as if it's an interview. So we have Billy getting interviewed, Daisy getting interviewed. There's different recordings of them. So again, I listened to it and kind of followed along in the book. I think that's the way to go. There's actually a playlist that kind of goes along with this. But it so gives you 70s vibes, and it is fantastic, and I loved it. Next one I want to talk about is Looking for Jane. This is by Heather Marshall. This is a historical fiction book I read, I want to say last year. It takes place in Canada, and it follows kind of three different time periods. We have 2017, we have 1970, and then we have 1980. And this really centers around this abortion network that was in play in the 1970s in Canada when abortions were illegal. It was known as Jane. It was there to just help young women kind of navigate whatever situation they found themselves in. So really, really great read. Heavy read, a little hard, but fantastically done. And I feel like it's underrated in my opinion. I think Looking for Jane is fantastic. So pick that one up if you're interested. Then we have The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. And Simone St. James, she's like one of my favorites. We have a couple timelines. We have 1977 and we have 2017. It's a true crime blogger. Let me think. Gets more than she's bargained for while interviewing the woman acquitted of two cold case slayings. So we have 1977 Oregon. The Lady Killer Murders. So we have two men, seemingly random, were murdered with the same gun, and strange notes were left behind. And we have Beth Greer was the perfect subject. Rich, eccentric, 23-year-old woman seen fleeing one of the crime scenes, but she was acquitted and retreated to isolation in her mansion, basically. Fast forward 2017, we have Shay Collins as a receptionist, but by night she runs a true crime podcast or a website called The Book of Cold Cases. This passion is fueled by the attempted abduction she escaped as a child. When she meets Beth, by chance, very random, she asks her for an interview, and to her surprise, Beth says yes. They meet regularly at the mansion, though Shay's never comfortable there. Items move when she's not looking. She could swear she sees a girl outside the window. I can still picture that scene clear as day in my head. The allure of learning the truth about the case from Beth is too much to resist, and even as they grow closer, Shay senses something isn't right. It's Simone St. James, so it gets a little ghosty and a little creepy and a little fantastic, and it's so great. So highly recommend that as well. And then final one is another historical fiction, another heavy read. This is Take My Hand by Dolan Perkins Valdez. This is 1972. We're in Montgomery, Alabama. We have Sybil, who has just come out of nursing school. She is so happy and excited and ready to start and kick off her career. She ends up working for the Montgomery Family Planning Clinic to help women shape their destinies, make their own choices for their lives and their bodies. I'm sure you can know where we're going. Her first week on the job takes her to a dusty country road in a one-room cabin where she learns her new patients, Erica and India, are children, 11 and 13. Neither of these Williams sisters grew up very poor. They're Black. And in order to continue to get their welfare benefits, Sybil has to take a role in kind of their health, specifically their reproductive health. So this goes into kind of the forced sterilization things that were happening. And you guys, it was the 70s, not like the 20s or the the 70s. So very eye-opening, heavy read, but done very, very, very well. And I would highly suggest that one as well. I mean, all 5 of these books are great books to pick up if you're looking for 70s vibes. Absolutely. So if you want to, head over to Sarah's channel, see what she has. I know there's a bunch of books that we could have put on here. A couple of them by Kristen Hanna, The Women and The Great Alone, both have set in the 70s. So, but I feel like I talk about them enough. I feel like these are ones that maybe aren't always heard about. So head over to Sarah's channel and see what she has for us today for books set in the 70s. Otherwise, comment below if you have any other great ideas, and like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. And I will see you next time. Bye.